I must have been beautiful when I was young. Maybe I ought to say new instead of young, 'cause I'm a battered up, rusty old breadbox, tin breadbox. But once I was purty. I was respected too. I had a very important job to do. When my missus used to bake them delicious dinner rolls, I knowed that after she'd spread 'em out on the table to cool, then she'd fill me full of 'em. I kept 'em nice and fresh till the family and friends all ate 'em all up. Then, when they was church dinners, I'd be so proud to get to go and take care of the rolls. You oughta saw them eating Baptist swarm of women around to dive in. Them was mighty happy days for me. I loved it when I could do something somebody needed done. As years went by, I begun to notice I was being used less and less all the time. Of course, a body can sort of understand that. Tin does rust, and I'm sure the time come when the missus had to line my inside with wax paper before she put the rolls in. And besides, by that time a feller could go to one of them restaurants, no, not restaurants, department stores, and find fancy bread boxes. You know, ceramic or wooden or even stainless steel. Then Tupperware, darn them. They come up with them giant-sized bowls with them vacuum sealing lids. After that, I was really put on the back burner. Finally, I got to be old and only in the way in the kitchen. So I was carted down to the basement, empty. It made me feel pretty bad to just sit there for months, maybe years, without nothing to take care of. Every now and then, some rowdy boys was roughhousing in that basement. I just prayed one of them wouldn't mash me with a baseball bat or a hammer. One day, I heard the missus, her name is Georgie Lou, and she come down the stairs talking, and she was always talking to herself. I heard her say, "They ain't no use keeping them old letters no longer. I'm going to get shut of them." No, she never said it that way, 'cause she talks proper, but that's what she meant. I didn't have no idea what she was talking about. She went digging around, found a pasteboard box with 2 or maybe more good-sized bundles of letters in it. She took 'em out and shook 'em, blowed the dust off of 'em. By hearing her mumble, I got it all figured out. Them was the letters her lover, Carol, had wrote to her, and she had wrote to him way back there in 1935 and 36. Pretty soon, I begun to hear the tearing of paper. What she done was, she tore up most of her letters, but when she got to his, she didn't have the heart to destroy them. I felt real sorry for her. I really think she wished she hadn't tore hers up. Maybe she shed a tear or two. Anyways, she got real tender like, blowed some more dust off of 'em, tied 'em up in a bundle, a couple of bundles. She looked over in the corner and seen me and said, "That old bread box, it'll keep the dirt and mice, whatever, off of them letters." I was so happy. I got that good feeling. Somebody was trusting me to do something worthwhile again. I was so proud to get to store them old love letters. I've known some bread boxes when they got old, had to store income taxes and cancel checks. Now, Carol and Georgia Lou, they moved a lot. I don't know how they managed to keep up with me, but they did. Then a sad day come. Everybody cried. It took me a while to know what had happened, but I learned that Georgia Lou's lover, Carol, had died. I cried some too. I didn't like to see my missus sad. It was hard, but she kept on working, made a few more moves. After a few years, one day, Georgia Lou met another lover, Frank, and before long, they got married. Georgia Lou thought it was not good to keep Carol's letters as reminders of her past after she had was married to somebody else. When she talked to her daughter Jody about this, Jody said, "Mother, Daddy's letters are literature." Georgia Lou was happy to get the letters to Jody. She knowed she'd treasure them. So here I went with the love letters to live with Jody and Harvey. They moved pretty often too, even to California. One day they found just the right place to put me away where I wouldn't get lost. But I was lost. They plumb forgot where they put me. I really didn't like to be so hid from people. I wished I could be sharing what was inside of me, like I did the roles. One day, Jenny, Marty's daughter, asked the letters. Everybody started looking. Every time Georgia Lou went to Jody's, she looked the house and garage over, trying to find me. I wish I could have hollered out and said, "Here I am, right beside the American flag. Don't you remember?" But Breadbox isn't made that way. Everybody gave up, even me. Then one day, all of a sudden, Harvey lost his job. They took a few weeks figuring out what they ought to do next. They decided on packing up, moving to Cincinnati where their son, Clay, lives. They had lived at that house longer than Jody had ever lived any place. You know, moving seems sort of it means to throw things away and pack. One day, Harvey was unloading the hall tree. When he got through taking all them CDs off of that seat and raised the lid, he found me. Everybody was happy. Now I live with Georgia Lou at Marty's and Davy's house. I feel important again. Whenever Georgia Lou feels like looking back from the 2000s to the 1930s, or like a few tears might do her good. All she has to do is reach in and get one of them love letters.